Hey gents, slight change of pace in today's video. I'm gonna give you an update on my routine and the fitness program that I followed for the last 3 months. Starting December 1st, I started doing about 6 workouts per week. Well, with the exception of this week, I spent it in bed with a light touch of the flu, and then this past week was menfluential. But it's the first time in my life I've seriously lifted weights and spent some time in the gym. So I'm gonna give you some of my background and my exercise. I'm going to let you know about the program that I followed, the dietary components, and everything as part of that. Then I'll let you know what I learned and what my future looks like. When I started high school, I was about 4'11" and 180 pounds, and I can promise you there was not much muscle in there. During high school, I played lacrosse and I was a swimmer, and when I left high school, I was 6'4" and 180 pounds. So I basically just went up, thinned out. Any of the weightlifting I did as a swimmer was really high rep stuff. I didn't do a lot of strength building, but I did develop a love for running, which I followed through college and afterward, where I was usually keeping up a pace of about 20 to 30 miles per week. I ran a full marathon in 2016, and I ran a half marathon in 2017. The 4 years after college, I had a corporate job where I traveled a lot, and I used to always say, like, if I had more time, then I would seriously hit the gym if I had the right program and the right component. And all of that changed in September when I had a lot more time to dedicate to my own well-being. So I've always recognized the importance of strength and physical fitness. The way that I would feel during weeks that I would run versus weeks that I didn't run was noticeably different. My children get heavier every day. I never want to struggle to pick them up or like pull something while getting out of the car. And I'm also battling really bad family genes. My dad and 2 of his brothers died before the age of 50. And so I have to keep this up. So I know that if I set the groundwork now when I'm 27, it's going to help me considerably as I age. Then there's of course aesthetic reasons, looking good in clothing, looking good for my wife, and of course for my underwear reviews. So in September when I started considering taking this seriously, that's right when Aaron launched the tailored program through Alpha M and bodybuilding.com, and the price in my head was already basically set at like $9 a month. So I knew I'm gonna be paying about that plus the gym membership. But for the past 2 years, I have followed Manny at Well Built Style. I'm also buddies with Tanner for Masculine Style, and they have a mutual connection in Alexander Cortez. And so I've seen his programs, I saw his tweets before, but Manny tweeted out an Achilles program, which is all about looking like Brad Pitt and Troy, and that really caught my attention. I did get my first boost of this when I was out in LA. I worked out with Tanner and Mike Macapinlack, who used to be a personal trainer, and so that was like my starting point. I already bought the program at that point, and they helped talk me through it a little bit because I had no gym experience. All of the movements and all of the weightlifting that I did in this program, I started out by going to YouTube and I was searching YouTube at the gym for how to do this certain movement. And so I was a complete novice. What was important to me in the program is not only did I have something to follow and something to aim towards, but there's also a dietary component to it. I've always been broadly healthy. I don't eat as many salads as I could, but if I was going out, I would always favor chicken, something lean, rather than getting something really fatty. I've never been a caffeine drinker. I don't drink coffee. I cut out sugary drinks many years ago, so I've always tried to live that way. But the workout plan itself is 3 months long in 3 phases. And so it had all of the movements and focuses for each day. So it had an arm day, chest day, leg day, shoulders, and back. And then it would rotate through each of those, and then each phase was slightly different, which really appealed to me because I'm a man of routines, but I like to have that change up every once in a while. And then there was also the component of it that helped guide me on proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and so I was able to follow the plan as best that I could. There was also an ab component, so although each day had a different muscle focus, basically every day you were working on abs, and then there was a cardio component as well, which I didn't really follow in the first time that I ran through it, mostly because you're already going to be at the gym a lot, and he sets you up for that in the program. Is you're basically going to be at the gym a ton, which I was, but doing the cardio component would have taken me from about 90 minutes a day to almost 2.5 hours, and I just didn't have the commitment to go into there. Now that we're getting into spring, I'd probably do that since I'm going to start this again. As you can see, I've been using the Strong app, which helps me track each of the workouts so I can chart my progress as I increase weights and reps and as I change through each of those. And then I also got serious about tracking my food intake through MyFitnessPal. I got really good at it, and then I fell off in November around Thanksgiving, and then I went to Morocco. But starting December 1st, I've been following it ever since then. My diet didn't change a lot. I did have to add food because I'm supposed to get about 3,000 calories per day based on the workouts that I'm doing, and then I'm supposed to hit about 200 grams of protein, and then there's splits for carbohydrates and fat. What I did add, and this is a first for me, are supplements. So I started with BCAAs for every workout, and then I also add a little bit of creatine in there. And then my post-workout, I usually have within 30 minutes of working out, I'll put a little bit more creatine in with this whey powder into, at first I was using almond milk, and then I switched to whole milk. But I also start out with Vega, which is a plant-based protein. I did switch to whey based on the recommendation of Zach Mitchum. I'll link to him below. He's an Olympic weightlifter who's been a huge help as I've been going through this process. And then on weekends, I'll make a protein shake, which is a cup of blueberries, 2 cups of spinach, 1 cup of zero-fat Fage yogurt, 2 tablespoons of almond butter, 1 scoop of the whey protein, a scoop of the creatine, and 8 ounces of almond milk. And then at nighttime, I do a casein shake, and I get about 80 grams of protein through all of these supplements each day, which is a huge help because as much chicken and turkey that I can eat, I'm still not quite getting there. I'll link to all this below. I got it from bodybuilder.com based on Aaron's videos. So the supplements all together cost me about $80 a month when I break it down into per serving for how much I'm working out. And I can't say definitively that it's helping me grow. I have definitely been injury free. I'm very rarely ever sore, but even if it just gives me the placebo effect of taking this stuff and then helping me to do better workouts, that's worth it to me. So whether I'm getting actual muscle benefit from it or just mental, I find it a huge help. So that brings me to the results. I've had a great experience with this program. I feel 100% stronger. I know that there's certain movements that I've definitely doubled my weights, which is what you'd expect as a novice weightlifter, but you can see in the side to sides, I always had a pretty slim build, but I was never really defined. Now, for the first time, I can feel my pec muscles. I have a little bit more abs going on. I've always struggled with my lower abs to have any definition, and I'm still working on that. But I do still have a little bit of the love handles. That'll probably come off as I work in a little bit more cardio into the routine. But I also feel considerably better. I'm sleeping better. I think clearer, and that's one of the benefits that I always had as a runner. But now more than ever, just that routine of, I'm up at the gym at 5 o'clock, I get home and I work, and I can really feel that I'm more productive. And what I've learned through this process is even if I wasn't doing a perfect workout, just the fact that I was showing up every day and getting those lifts in and getting the movements in, I would have gained some muscle, but I can see it in my charts directly that I've been adding considerable weight. I'm doing some amount of personal records for every workout, and I'm really appreciating my time in the gym the way that I used to appreciate time out on a run. And so, the things I've learned is, you set your mind to this stuff, you can go do it. But it also is a lot about that mindset. I've always wanted to take the time to do this, to improve my strength and improve myself this way, but I've tried to get other people in my family to do it with me, and unless you have the mindset of, I want to get better, I want to do this, you set a goal, you work towards it, it's going to be pretty tough. And I've also learned through the more I've read and researched as I've been going through the program that fat loss can happen in 3 to 6 months. You can drop 20 to 30 pounds, but muscle building is like a decades long thing. And so I'm only 3 months into this. I know this is a long haul, but I'm building the foundation in habits and muscle to set me up for success in the future. And there's also a level of accountability that I felt by buying the program, and then also I feel like I'm accountable to the app, to the Strong app, but for you, that might be a different level of accountability. You might have to hire a personal trainer, because then if you have somebody that you're gonna have to tell in the morning, hey, I'm not gonna make it today, it's like having that level of accountability is helpful as well, and just spending the money on the PDF made me feel accountable to sticking with the program, and it worked out so far. Going forward, I'm just gonna start the program over. I really enjoyed it so far. I'm gonna have Zach look at it and maybe do a few tweaks to it, but I'd also like to get some time in a gym where somebody can look at my form, make sure I'm doing things well. I wanna remain injury-free. So far, I've been fine. I had a light touch of tennis elbow just this last phase, but if I can keep up this momentum, I can definitely see where I start to get some real definition, and maybe by the end of phase 2, I could be featured by Manny for having some sauce. So there you have it, gents. That's what I've been working on the past few months, kind of in the background. I do that stuff in the morning, sets me up for a great day, and then I get my videos shot and do everything else during the day, and it feels very good. If you have any questions, happy to answer down below. None of this stuff is sponsorship or anything. It's just been what I've been working on for the last few months. If you have exercise successes, let me know. That stuff always gets me going. And if you want to start a program or something, I really hope that you do, because I can tell you that even just going from a skinny guy to slightly muscular feels really good, and there was no weight loss component in there, but there really is nothing better than getting your heart rate up and building some strength. So until next time, gents, this is the Kavalier.